Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm at a very special place. I'm on my way to Niagara Falls, and I stopped at a very special place, and I want to show you that special place. It's quite chilly. The wind is blowing. There is snow in the forecast for Monday evening tonight and Tuesday evening. So I may be snowed in Niagara Falls, Ontario. If I make it, if my shots are up to date and my passport passes muster. Otherwise, I'll stay on the American side. 48 degrees. It's the 18th. I hope you had a nice Easter, Passover, Ramadan, what have you. Some items of the interest before I get out of the vehicle. I would normally be out of the vehicle, but it is so windy out there that you probably won't be able to hear me. So let's get some items of interest, some very interesting items of interest today. In 1506, the first stone was laid by the Pope Julius II. The first stone was laid for the Vatican in Vatican City, Rome, the flagship store, if you would, of the Roman Catholic organization or church. If you haven't been to the Vatican, and even if you don't believe in God, if the architecture alone, the history, it's quite worth the trip. I don't recommend going in the summertime. That's when everybody else will be there. You want to go just after New Year's, maybe January, February, when it's raining and cloudy, because after all, you're there to see the Vatican. You're really not there to see the sun. So that happened in 1506. In 1857, the reason I bring this up is because it's got a real close contact, or this gentleman, this famous lawyer, Charles Darwin. He was a debater. He was a lawyer. He could have been a masturbator. He was very well known, and he was well known for this case that he represented the defendant, a school teacher who broke a state law. I'm not sure what state it was, but if you Google Scopes trial, SCOPES, Sam Charles Oscar Paul Edwin S. Scopes trial, you'll find out all about it that you need to know. Anyway, he was defending a teacher who had been teaching the Darwinian theory of evolution. And that's kind of what's happening in Florida today with don't say this and don't say that and don't do that. We can't have those books. Those books have to be eliminated, so it's just very interesting. I had to include that. So Charles Darwin, and he was born today in 1857. So you see how history changes all the time. It goes in cycles. And right now we're in a cycle. And a lot of people are not happy with the cycle. Some people are very happy with the cycle. The cycles just go, just like people. And so don't worry about it. It's just a cycle. In 1906, San Francisco had that major 1906 earthquake. It killed a lot of people. But then you have to ask yourself, maybe some of those people were already sick. Maybe they were ill. Maybe it wasn't the earthquake, and should they had been counted with the death toll. I mean, if a woman is 90 years old, and anyway, 1945, Ernie Pyle was killed near Okinawa during the invasion of Okinawa during World War II. Ernie Pyle was a famous war correspondent. I hope I don't get molested again today. I really am not in the mood to be molested. In 1999, Wayne Gretzky played his last National Hockey League game. 1999, one of the greatest hockey players the world has ever seen, Wayne Gretzky, a nice Polish fella. And in 2012, we lost Dick Clark, the famous Dick Clark, American bandstand, and he died at the age of 82, but it's believed that he was 182, 1957 to 1987. So those are the items of interest today. I will not repeat them today. And I'm going to take this back. Thank you. And I am going to show you what I'm going to show you. So if you can't hear me, it's because of the wind, and I'll do my best to let you know. Okay, stepping out. I hope everybody had a nice Easter, and everybody had a lot of food. We were, I just arrived here. We're about 57 miles from Niagara Falls in upstate New York. We left at 4:12 this morning, and here we are. This memorial walkway is dedicated to honor all those that have served behind the big gray walls of Attica State Prison. Holy cow. And there they are. Now, of course, Attica State Prison is famous for the Attica riots. 42 staff members were taken hostage, and 10 of those employee or staff member hostages lost their lives that day. And September 9th, 1971, and 33 inmates lost their lives. So I'm not sure. There's 12 shadows here, but only 10 lost their lives that day. So I don't know if those shadows represent the deaths of staff members on that particular day. You'll have to do your own research, and it is just a moving memorial. And here are some memorial bricks. It's EOW's End of Watch. So these are just some memorial bricks that were bought by perhaps family members. I don't believe some of them could be members from the riot. I'm not sure. Here's a 913. Yeah, here's 913. So these could be possibly the officers who lost their lives. Here's 913, 1971. Here is another one, 913, 1971. Sergeant. So these probably are the officers that lost their lives during that terrible prison riot. It was over prison conditions. Here's another one. Harrison. Whalen. EOW, End of Watch. 10/9, 1971. Maybe he lost his life from his injuries. Here's another one, 9/11, 1971. 9/13, 9/13. So I can only presume that these are the memorial bricks for some of the members of the staff, the correction officers. This is a clerk, accounting clerk. 9/13, 1971. Richard J. Lewis. End of Watch, 9/13. 1971. Another account clerk. 9/13, 1971. So these may be the 10 officers who lost their lives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perhaps. And these are, I guess, one of the sergeants lost his life. and that's why one of these shadows here, this memorial shadow, has chevrons on the shoulders. So a very moving. This is Attica, upstate New York. You can Google it yourself, the Attica Prison Uprising. They had to call in the National Guard. It happened on September 9th, 1971. The prison was founded in 1931, and the riot was September 9th, 1971. If you remember the Al Pacino film Dog Day Afternoon, where they unsuccessfully robbed the bank, he screams, "Attica, Attica, Attica," in front of a gathered crowd. One of your better Hollywood movies from the 70s, or I'm not quite sure exactly when that premiered, but it has all the makings of cinema at that time in America, when movies were really movies and you didn't see too many green screens. So 42 staff members were taken hostage. And 10 lost their lives. 33 inmates lost their lives. And the National Guard was called in. It was quite a big problem. It was a major event at the time. And as usual, the ones with the guns usually win, or the ones that are outnumbered with guns usually win. And that was the case that day. It lasted for 5 days in 1971. More than 1,200 inmates took over and the prison. And this prison is it's still operational, and its security class is a maximum security prison. So that's the only information I have. You can Google the rest on your own laptop, your device, your iPhone, your computer, your I can't name all the, they got TVs now that act like computers, and you can get all the pertinent information about this, of course, if you're interested. You have to be interested. If you're not interested, you won't take the time to do it. But it is certainly, probably the most famous and biggest prison riot in American history, I believe. Most of them come from down south. South America's got some real nasty prison riots, and many people are killed, and it happens quite frequently, but it doesn't happen as frequently, or doesn't happen much at all in America. But this, in 1971, it did. And it's believed that part of the cause was somebody turned the channel on the television, and Gilligan's Island was playing, and somebody just lost it. Just lost it. So here's the memorial. I'm going to step back and let you see it. And it's a very dangerous job. I know a police officer who had a son who was a correction officer who was badly injured, survived, but nevertheless taken out of service for his injuries. And it's very, sometimes they say you're doing time 8 hours a day, or 10 hours a day, or 12 hours a day. You're doing time. And this is this little building over here is I guess it's closed now. I don't want to get these people closed. So I thought this would be an item of interest. It was on the way to Niagara Falls. It was just about 7 minutes off the path that we were headed on, and I thought I'd like to see it. I saw quite a few correctional facilities on my way here. You can't miss them. You can't miss the razor wire at night, even when you're driving at night on the interstate, you see something that's lit up like a ball game at night, and you realize it's a correction facility, and the lights are always on for the obvious reasons. Okay, I'm gonna do a 180. Is it a 180 or is it a 360? Who knows? And just to spin around, and you can see for yourself what I'm seeing. There it is. Attica Correctional Facility. And I don't really want to take too much time here because I just am not in the mood to be molested. And the wind has died down considerably, which is nice for this presentation. But I'm going to take it back into the car because there it is. And that's the way they built them back in the 30s. Attica. It's a famous term for people with grievances. And you can just see over here. Let me see if I can get you a close shot. There it is. That's definitely 1831 architecture and the wall as well. So I'm going to leave it at that. I do not want to get. I want to make it to Niagara Falls. There it is. I definitely want to make it to Niagara Falls in one piece and not in handcuffs. So I'm going to close it out here. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation, 17 minutes, just over 17 minutes, and I'm going to close it out.